Namaste. Welcome to Promise Resource Network. I'm Jane, and this is our time for yoga together. Today will be asana. So last week we did some philosophy, talked about the path of devotion, which was the bhakti path. My intention is to alternate between doing philosophy and asana, just so that we have an opportunity to move our bodies. So make yourself comfortable, grab your yoga mat, grab a prop if you need to. I am here at the beautiful Promise Resource Network in Charlotte, North Carolina. And you might hear sirens and people in life because we're in real life. And I love it. I love it. So, I had a technical difficulty, so I just want to acknowledge my lateness. It was like all of a sudden my computer said, turn it off. And I was like, this is not the best time for that. So I'm just going to get a little card here in case I feel like pulling it. All right. So I want to say welcome. My feet were wet, so my yoga mat got wet. So hopefully I don't slip because that would make a funny asana. So start to find a comfortable seat. And I'll move this and hopefully we can stay in visibility. I'll be in the sun at some point, so I'll be squinting and I won't be able to see anything. So find a comfortable seat on your mat and begin to connect with your breath, your body, and this now moment. And as you start to settle in to this presence, this present moment, this presence of you, this presence of the time and space that you have set aside just for you. Something that I would like to share about is this concept of joy. And, I've been practicing yoga, the asana, the movements for, over 20 years now. And I would get like proud of myself. Like I can hold this pose and I can do this shape. And when I would do those things, then I would feel good about myself. And it became this conditioned response that only if I got into the shape that I would feel good. And it lost a lot of the joy for me when I had an injury and couldn't do the things. I couldn't hold the shapes. I couldn't breathe fully. I was in pain and injury. And so in that time away from the physical practice, I deepened my spiritual yoga practice, which is connecting with myself and something bigger. And I have started to reclaim the fun and joy in my asana, in my movement, in my practice. So what I would like to do is share a joyful practice, which means it's going to be joyful for me. And the intention is for this to be joyful for you, which may mean that you don't do what I do. It may mean that you do exactly what I do. My request and encouragement is that you do what feels good in your body. And if you're in a shape and you're like, I want more, then you stay in it. And if you're in a shape and it doesn't feel good, then move out of it. Shift it, change it, modify it, give yourself a different option. I'll try to throw some different options out. But the point is to be in your breath and your body and be in a sacred movement so that you can connect with yourself in something bigger and hopefully in this frequency and vibration of joy. So if at any point you can't hear me, please let me know. I'm going to try to keep an eye on my little light here that tells me that I'm audible. Sometimes I realize that the button gets pushed and I am not audible. So coming to your hands and knees into tabletop position. It's going to be really weird angles, y'all. I'm aware. I'm acknowledging it in advance. It's a camera. probably would be better if it were over there, but what do you do? Anyway, so coming to your hands and knees and start to take cats and cows. So you're going to drop your belly and your eyes are going to gaze all the way up to your third eye as you take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to arch your back like a scaredy cat. You're going to look at your navel. Inhale, belly drops, tailbone lifts, eye gaze up. Exhale, rounding the back, pressing into the earth with your hands and your shins and the top of your feet. Breathing in, the belly drops, eye gaze up. Exhale, arching your spine for that cat. And do a few more of these on your own breath. Maybe you're faster, maybe you're slower. Couple more. Coming into neutral spine, looking over the right shoulder, over to the right hip. And as you exhale, come back to center. Look over the left shoulder to the left hip. Inhale to center. Exhale, look over to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, look to the left. Do a few more of these on your own breath, own timing. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And you go faster, you go slower, but get some movement in your spine. Coming back to neutral, perhaps you take your hips over to the right, scooch them all the way back to your heels, scooch them to the left and up to the center. Do a few of these big hip circles, really starting to lubricate the wrists, the hips, the knees, and feeling your breath. Coming back to center and switching directions. And if you're like me, you'll feel and hear maybe some bones popping and creaking and snapping. Feels good to be alive. Last one, coming back up to neutral. Tabletop. Moving my little microphone. Extending your right foot out. Kickstanding your left foot out. Lifting the right arm up. Eye gaze lifts. Perhaps the pinky rotates down and you reach the fingers over the head, pressing the outer blade of the right foot into the earth. Feeling length in that right side body. You can inhale your arm up to the sky. Exhale, reach it over your head. Inhale, reach the arm up high. Exhale, reach it overhead. Two more of these. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, reach overhead. Shoulders are back and down. Fingers are reaching toward the front of your mat. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands down to tabletop. Taking that right foot that is already extended and lifting it up, pressing the foot to the back wall, taking the left hand and reaching it out ahead of you toward the front of your mat. Like magnets pulling away from your torso, the fingertips are going to reach in front. Arm is even with the ears. Hips are even and level. Taking a breath in. Exhale, tabletop. We're going to switch sides. So taking the left foot, extending it out, kickstanding the right foot off to the side. Inhale as the left arm reaches up high. Rotating that palm down toward the floor and reaching that palm overhead. The outer blade of the left foot presses into the mat. Big full belly breaths as length enters the left side of your body, expanding your lungs. Breathe in as you reach up toward the sky. Exhale, reach overhead. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach overhead. One more big breath in, reach up. Exhale, reach overhead. Taking another big breath in. Exhale, hand down, tabletop. Taking that left foot that's already extended and lifting it up and taking the right arm and reaching it out in front of you. Squaring off the hips, letting that foot reach to the back, the hand reaches in front of you, the right arm is next to the right ear as the shoulders pull back and down, the navel magnetizes toward the spine. Spinal balance. Another breath in, exhale, tabletop. Tucking the toes. Starting to lift the knees up off of the mat. Letting this hover. Letting the spine and belly button meet in the very center of your body. As you press into the mat with your hands. Taking a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shifting into high plank to see your measurement. You might need to adjust the length of the spacing of your feet or hands. That length that you're in this plank, try to keep that for your downward facing dog as your tailbone lifts toward the sky again. Perhaps you bend your knees a little, maybe you bend them a lot. Let your head hang heavy. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, step it through to the front of the mat. Inhale as you look forward. Exhale as you step forward, forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. Maybe you shake it yes, shake it no. Maybe you look like Pippi Longstocking like I do. Inhale, both arms reach up high to the sky. And I have no head on here, but trust. Exhale, forward fold. I'll switch that in a minute. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot back. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step back to high plank. Drop to the knees. Lower all the way down to the belly. Pressing the chest up for baby cobra. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. And while you're in this downward facing dog, breathe. Hopefully that'll help. Doing my best. Need a camera person, y'all. Inhale the left foot high. Exhale, step it through to the front of the mat, or help yourself and just place it there, however you get there. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step forward, forward fold. Let your head be heavy. Maybe your knees are soft. As you inhale, bending the knees, reaching all the way up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Step the left leg back as you inhale. Chest lifts, gaze lifts. Inhale. As you exhale, step the foot back to that high plank. Drop to the knees. Gently. Lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale for upward for baby cobra. As you exhale, back to downward facing dog. Ooh, this mat is getting hot with the sunshine on it. Inhale, right foot up high. Exhale, step it through, warrior two. Cartwheeling the hands up. And while you're here, find a little movement. Maybe your arms get a little like wave action. Maybe you're like, this is way more fun when I get to move with myself and I have to hold everything so steadily. I don't know, maybe you like to hold steady. You do you. So you're in this warrior two, feeling the outer blade of the left foot pressing into the earth. Inhale as you scoop it up and back, peaceful warrior. As you exhale, straighten that front leg. Taking a breath in, rising up for Trikonasana, for triangle, reaching forward, hand lands on the shin or a block. The left hand reaches to the sky, the gaze follows, let the heart open. Have a micro bend in that right front knee. Feel the strength of that back left leg. Inhale, straight-legged peaceful warrior, up and back. Exhale, cartwheeling the hands down, stepping back to high plank as you take a breath in. You can go down into your chaturanga. So you're going to bend your elbows halfway to 90 degrees next to your ribs. You can untuck your toes, pressing up for upward facing dog. Y'all can't even see this. Dang it. And downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high. Step it through for warrior two. Inhale as your hands cartwheel open. Maybe you feel like a disco goddess or a disco king. Maybe your hands do a little fun. I don't know, whatever feels good to you. Making sure, okay. Feeling the outer blade of your right foot really anchoring into this earth. Bending as deep as you want into that left bent knee. Maybe still have a little movement. Maybe as you inhale and you scoop it up and back for your peaceful warrior. You straighten that leg as you exhale. Feel that length in your side body as you breathe in, uprighting your torso. Exhale as you reach forward. Left hand to the shin, right hand up to the heavens. Gaze follows. Unless you're me and you'll be looking directly into the sunlight, which I don't recommend at noon. Let the heart shine toward the heavens. Rotating at the chest, keeping a micro bend in that left knee. Feel the strength in the right knee. On your next inhale, scoop it up and back for that straight-legged peaceful warrior. On your exhale, bending deep, cartwheeling the hands down, stepping it back to high plank, going through your vinyasa into your chaturanga, your upward facing dog, and your downward facing dog. Taking a big breath in, a big sigh out. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, warrior two, scooping it. Maybe give yourself a little wiggle. Get some depth in this warrior two. Whoa, Virabhadrasana two. Scoop it up and back for your peaceful. Straightening that front leg, moving into triangle. Settling here for just a breath. Inhale, scoop it up and back. From here, going into star pose. So rotating both of your feet to the left. Both arms reach up high like, yes, I made it, y'all. I made it to this now. Take a big breath in. Exhale, warrior two to the back of the mat. Scoop it up and back, peaceful warrior. Exhale for supported side angle. So the outside of the left forearm will be on top of the left knee, bending as deep as you can into that, or as comfortable as you can into that left knee. Pressing the outer blade of the right foot into the mat. Gaze can be lifted. Heart aims open to the sky. Breathing big full breaths. On your next inhale, scoop it up and back, peaceful warrior. Peaceful warrior brings you to the front. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. We'll vinyasa and meet in downward facing dog. Coming to an inhale when you bring yourself up. Exhaling to your down dog. Inhale, left leg reaches high. Exhale, warrior two. So you inhale, you come up. Landing, get a little funky arms. Inhale, scoop it up and back for peaceful. Exhaling, straightening that leg. So uprighting and moving into triangle, Trikonasana. Inhale, scoop it up and back for the straight-legged peaceful. Coming into star, rotating both feet to the right side of the mat. Again, in celebration, y'all. Yay! I made it. I'm here in this now moment. Yes. Take a breath in. Warrior two to the back of the mat. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, supported side angle. Left arm reaches up high to the sky. Fingers are active and alive. Pressing the outer blade of the left foot deep into the mat. Letting the right knee bend deep. Keeping length in your neck. Space between your right shoulder and your right ear. Breathe in the presence of now. And with a smile, scoop it up and back for peaceful warrior. Switching to peaceful warrior to the front of the mat. Exhale, Vinyasa is yours. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Taking the hands and walking them to the back of the mat. We're going to set up for Malasana. So take the feet as wide as the mat and drop your booty down. You can place your hands at heart center in Anjali Mudra. You can take your elbows to the inside of your knees. And as I press my hands together, my elbows are pressing my knees away from each other. I let my tailbone drop and the top of my head reaches up to the sky. And I breathe here. Isn't that always the work? Finding a joyful breath in times that are tough. And this may be easy for you, and this may be really difficult. Where are you with you right now? Can you have a smile on your face? No judgment if you can or you can't. Taking a breath in. Exhale, hands to the mat. Lifting the tail up, heel toeing the feet in just about hips distance apart. And letting the head hang heavy. Heel toeing the feet together. Big toes touch. The heel's going to be about 1 inch apart. Bend so deep that your hands touch the mat behind you. And from here, if you can be on your, let your heels be flat on the mat. As you inhale, you're going to breathe in for chair, for Utkatasana. So that means you're sitting in an invisible chair, basically, and you're like reaching up like, yeah, somebody pick me up. Remember when you were a kid and you're like, pick me up. And your tailbone is going in the opposite direction. You're breathing here and you're probably feeling really alive. I know I am. Boy, howdy. Feeling my body burn. It's great. Taking another breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in halfway for length. Exhale, forward fold. Walking the hands out to high plank. You can vinyasa if you want. If not, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Taking the feet as wide as the mat. Now I'm gonna walk my hands back, maybe like a foot or so. I'm gonna take my right hand and reach it through underneath my left armpit to the outer side of my left ankle. And I'm going to look underneath my left armpit. And I'm going to breathe. You can bend your knees as much as you like. You can be as close to your feet with your hands as is comfortable. Can you feel the stretching, the opening, the expansion, the twist? And most of all, can you feel your breath? Another breath in. Another breath out. On your next inhale, replacing the right hand, and we're just going to do a switch of sides, taking a breath in, exhaling the left hand to the outer side of the right ankle, looking underneath that right armpit. And bring awareness to the differences in the different sides of our bodies. This side may be so much easier, maybe not. Can you be with you without judgment? Can you be with you in joy? I say so. Taking another big breath in, letting it go. And your next inhale, coming into that downward facing dog, bringing the feet together a wee bit, and walking the hands back to the feet. Into this forward fold. Inhale, halfway for length. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach up to the heavens. Exhale, hands to heart center. Making sure we still have sound, y'all. I'm good. So let us go into tree. I hope you all can see me. So really rooting down into your left foot, letting the right foot rise and meet the left part of your the inner part of your left thigh. You can also place your foot on your calf or your ankle like a kickstand. Just stay away from your knee. Now, placing the hands at that heart center and pressing them like when we were in Malasana, pressing them together just as much as your foot is pressing into the thigh. Let the right hip drop as the right knee presses back to the back of the mat. Maybe as you inhale, the arms reach up, and you do those same like warrior two arms that you did before, whatever that looks like. Maybe they were just like straight out. Maybe they were in big movements. Ooh, can you be that swaying tree? Enjoy. Inhale, arms reach up high. As you exhale, releasing the foot, knee comes forward into stork. Taking the hands into heart center, kicking back into Virabhadrasana 3, warrior 3. Toes point down. Wow, I lost my balance. The wind blew. Toes point down. Pressing the heel to the back. Chest is lifted. Gaze is to the mat. As you take a breath in, exhale, hands to the mat. Lifting that right leg as high as you can for standing splits, but still keeping those hips level. Breathing in, exhale, standing forward fold. Both feet meet. Feet meet. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach up high, stretch the side body. Exhale, hands to heart center, setting up for tree on the other side, anchoring and rooting in that right foot onto this earth. Taking the left foot, again, kickstanding it, putting it on the calf, or up on the inner thigh. Let the left hip drop. Let the left knee magnetize to the back. Press those hands into each other as your thigh and foot presses into each other. Can you be steady and joyful in your breath? Can you be light in your heart as your arms lift up and maybe expand like tree branches? Can they move with all the sounds around you? Can you be in steady? Can you be in wobble? Can you be in fall? Can you just be with you? Taking a breath in, arms raised. Releasing the foot, coming into stork, finding your breath. Hands to heart center on the exhale as the left foot reaches back for warrior 3. Letting the left hip drop next to the right. Spine is long, gaze is down. Left foot is active as you take a breath in. Exhale, hands to the floor, standing splits. Left foot lifts, left hip drops. Left foot lifts, left hip drops. Taking another breath in as the head hangs heavy. Exhale, forward fold. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more on this balancing goodness. We're going to set up for dancer. So anchoring into your left foot, firmly and steadily anchored onto this earth. The right foot is going to lift as the right hand is going to come out like you're holding a plate. And on that, where that plate would be, you're going to place your right foot, holding it from the inside of that right ankle. As you breathe in, the left arm lifts as does that right leg. Kicking that right foot into the right hand. Gaze is up. Breathing in. And exhale, release. Shake it out. Just a gentle switch of sides. Anchoring that right foot in. Left hand holding that plate of delicious left foot. Placing the left foot there in that left hand. Reaching that right arm up, left leg kicks back. The foot is kicking back into that left hand. Hips are as level as you can be. And can you smile? Another breath in. Woo. Exhale, release, and shake it out. Shakasana. Need to move this. Okay. So from here, take a big breath in. Arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. I want to do a little side stretching. So taking your left foot behind your right so that your pinky toes will touch. And you're going to inhale, your arms will reach up. As you exhale, you're going to forward fold, bending in as much as you want that right knee. Letting the head hang heavy for a deep left leg sciatic stretch. Another couple breaths. On your next breath in, start to rise. We're just going to switch sides. So coming back into neutral, let's reach up to get some length. Exhale, hands to heart center. Taking the right foot, step it behind your left foot, pinky toes touch, bending as deeply as you would like into that left knee. Breathe in. And on your exhale, forward fold, letting the hands go to the mat, bending that left knee as much as is comfortable to get a sciatic stretch in that right leg. Let the head hang heavy. Another couple breaths. On your next inhale, gently start to make your way up. Unwrap the feet. Breathe in as you reach. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now, making your way onto your seat, onto your bottom. I'm going to move this a little bit because it's, hopefully you can see okay. Heads up, if you're in the sun and you're on a black yoga mat, it is so hot. Lessons learned. Wasn't expecting the sun to be this here right now. It's a thing. Joy. So taking the right leg, and we're going to set up for deer. Sometimes it's called 90-90. So taking, and these are just I'm just going to use these words. You're going to do what your body does and don't force it to do the things exactly that I'm saying. But what I'm doing, or my intention, is to get my body at my legs at 2 different 90 degrees. So hopefully you can see this. So my right leg thigh is going straight out in front of me, and my shin is parallel to the front of the mat. My back leg is going out 90 degrees from my hip, and the shin is bent 90 degrees from that, and my feet are active. I'm going to inhale and lengthen my spine, and as I exhale, I'm going to hinge forward. So for me, I'm going to go to here right now because I can start to feel a stretch. And I'm going to hold this, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Because the breathing, y'all, that's the key. Now I might see about what does it feel like if I take my torso over to the right a little bit? Does that feel better? Does it feel like is it more serving for me? Yeah, it is. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go back to the middle. We're just going to hold this for a few more breaths. Perhaps you start to feel your right glute, your hips, your hamstrings begin to unravel, unfold, unfurl, lengthen. Another breath in. Breathe out. On your next inhale, beginning to press yourself up, taking the left foot out ahead of you. We're going to set up for a seated tree. So the left leg is going to extend and the right foot is going to press into the left inner thigh. As you take a breath, inhale. You're going to exhale and fold forward. I invite you to be gentle and not pull yourself down, but to go where you go and feel what you feel. Not to press and force yourself past it, but to just be with the sensation. And maybe it's the sensation of your left hamstring opening up, or maybe you feel it in your right side body if you take your right hand to the outside of your left foot. Maybe it's in your right leg as your right knee starts to just become more heavy and magnetized to the earth. Be here with your breath. Take another big full breath in. Sigh it out. And on your next inhale, start to walk your hands up to a seated position, taking the right hand behind you like a second spine, taking the left hand, and you're going to scoop it up and around like you're taking all that energy. You're going to scoop it up and you're going to press your hips up as the right shin touches the earth, stretching out that left hip flexor, and exhale, coming back down. We're going to switch to do the 90-90 on the other side. So the left leg is going to be in front at 90 degrees. If you're 90 degrees, it may not be 90 degrees. It's whatever works for your body. And same thing with the right leg coming out of the body at 90 degrees. This is a variation for pigeon. I don't like pigeon today, so this is what I'm doing. So as you take a breath in, your spine lengthens. As you exhale, you're just going to hinge forward at the hips. And it's wherever you go, and that's perfect. And you hear horns honking. They're jealous that they can't be doing yoga right now with us. And if you tried going over to the outer part of your knee on the other side, you can try it on this side. But can you soften your shoulders? Can you soften your neck? Can you soften your thoughts? Can you let the body relax? Can you just be with you in the joyful presence of you on your mat and breathing? Couple more breaths here. On your next breath in, start to press yourself up, swinging that right foot around, extending it in front of you. Taking the left foot and placing it into that seated tree, into Janushirasana, placing it to the inside of that right thigh. You're going to inhale, your spine will lengthen. And as you exhale, you'll hinge forward. Forward may be straight ahead. It may be over that extended leg. Again, this is not the time or space in this shape to, none of them really are, but this one especially. It's not, let me hold onto my foot and pull my face down as far as I can. It's to be gentle with yourself in these forward folds. I like to take my left hand and place it on the outside of my right foot because I like the way the left side of my torso opens up. I feel a lot of stretch in there and it feels really good to me. Can you let your shoulders and mind be soft? Your breath be conscious and deep and even and easy. Taking a few more breaths here. On your next breath in, begin to press yourself back up to a seated position, taking your left hand, placing it behind you like a second spine, extending that right arm out ahead of you, scooping up all the energy for Stargazer, lifting your hips as the left shin presses into the earth, breathing big. Exhale, coming down the way you went up, and extending both feet out ahead of you. Setting up for Paschimottanasana. You can keep your feet together. You can keep them hips width apart. You can keep them as wide apart as the mat, whatever is most comfortable for you. And as you inhale, I also pull my booty flesh out of the way, and you'll feel, if you do that, you'll feel your tailbone, your sits bones, really land on the earth, and it gives you a lot more even of a foundation. So taking a breath in, as you exhale, you're going to hinge at the hips. So I like to keep my chest open and just bend forward. You can bend your knees if that is more accessible and comfortable for your body. Please do. Many of us sit a lot, and then our body gets really tight, and our body gets really accustomed to being in that seated position, so that when we get an opportunity to stretch out our legs and fold forward, sometimes it's a challenge for the body. Sometimes the body's like, I don't want to do that. My encouragement is to keep being with you, enjoy and not struggle, and see and practice every day to get more stretch and more length and more fluid movements in your body, and see how you can grow. Just watch your own progress. That's something I like so much about yoga, is every day is different. My body does different things every day. I've learned to accept where my body is, what it can do and what it can't do. And I've also been able to recognize my own growth and progress, whether it's that I can get into a handstand, or I can get into a forward fold, or I can just breathe a little deeper, or my meditation was able to be more still. It's the practice, right? It's a practice. I invite you to keep your head soft here. Keep your neck soft. If you can feel safe to close your eyes or to just look inward. You may notice that your chest is becoming heavier and becoming easier as it magnetizes, gravitationally pulls toward your thighs. You can even take a block and place it on your shins. I like to take my hands actually and put them together and let my forehead rest on my thumbs. Just being in this forward fold with your breath a little bit longer. Can your breath become wider, deeper, more settling and more grounding? Taking a big breath in, letting it go. On your next inhale, start to work your hands up with so much gratitude into a seated position. From here, if you want to lay down on your back, I'm going to aim this way. So coming down to your back just for a moment. Oh yes, it's so hot. Bringing your knees into your chest and just give them a little squeeze. Maybe you rock side to side just for a second. And taking the knees and letting them gently fall over to the left. You may need to scoot over to the right. That's so I have more room. You can take your right arm and extend it beyond you and take your eye gaze and twist action. Be here just for a few breaths. On your next inhale, come back up to center. Perhaps you give yourself a little squeeze. And taking your knees and letting them fold over to the right. Take your left arm and extend it out. Let your gaze follow it. I like to take my right hand and place it on the outside of my left knee. Just give myself a gentle assist in this twist. Couple more breaths here in this twist. On your next inhale, bringing the knees back up to center, give them a squeeze. From here, we're just going to lift up into a bridge. So placing both feet on the ground, on the mat. I like to take my fingers and graze my heels to make sure I can feel them. Feet will be about hips distance apart. And on your next inhale, lifting the hips up high to the sky into a bridge. And you can take your hands and interlace them behind you and press the hips up to the ceiling, pressing evenly into both feet. Taking another big full breath in, lift the hips up even more. Exhale, hips release to the mat. Just for a little brief moment, knees together, feet apart. Let the lower back relax just a little bit. And from here, you can just extend yourself out to prepare for Shavasana. I'm going to sit up for this. If you prefer to do a seated meditation, please feel free to do so. But let your body begin to feel heavy. Perhaps your arms are stretched out wide, palms face up. Feet are heavy, legs are heavy. As you breathe in, you feel your heart and belly expand. As you exhale, your heart and shoulders melt into the mat. You take your final shape, Shavasana, laying here and just being with you. As you become more aware of your breath and how it flows in and out, you can feel your spirit and your body merging together. You feel how light and buoyant and resilient you are. You feel how beautifully heavy and dense this beautiful body is. And as they merge together, you bring awareness into this now moment as your fingers and toes begin to move. Perhaps your wrists and ankles. Maybe your head turns side to side, waking up the back of your head, the back of your third eye. And as you breathe bigger, fuller breaths in, you begin to gently make your way up to a seated position, keeping your eyes closed. Placing your hands at heart center. Taking this feeling of presence, perhaps joy, whatever these feelings are that you have, trusting that every step that you take is in service to the world and to others and to life on earth. And every time you give yourself the time and the space to be on your mat with your body and your breath and you, that you amplify your power and your magic and your joy and your light. So we will end this practice with 3 ohms. It's the sound of manifestation, so that all of our intentions can be made manifest, so we can see the world that our heart is ready to live in. So we'll breathe in, let it go, and we'll breathe in for 3 ohms. Inhale. I bow my head to each of you. I bring my thumbs to my third eye so I can continue to see the light that everyone is around me as I honor that. Namaste, y'all. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here and for practicing and for being with you in presence with your breath. And keep drinking plenty of water and keep taking care of yourselves and each other. And know how loved you are. I will see you all so soon.